feel about what I said. And you know what? I think I'm gonna take the effort to watch Captain Marvel if I can find it. You know, on something. Um, I do feel like what right do I have to speak about it if I haven't really like watched it all the way through? Um, so yeah. Um, and again, I like Brie Larson. I think they're making a second one. I don't know. I will say that I friggin' loved She-Hulk
This is bad.
and
This is really
um,
bad.
Hey,
Miss
mind filling
Marvel.
us in? Do you know what that thing was?
They were
It's a,
awesome.
well,
I don't
basically
know
it's a
that they
bridge
were
through
that well
time.
received,
I've
but
done
I liked
research on
them.
the concept before, but until now,
So
nobody's been
yeah,
foolish enough to actually
I
try
want
it.
to.
Okay, and
You
that's the
know,
source of these tachyon disruptions?
they were just
Whatever she's
shows,
sending
but
through
still,
time is, yes. And if we
totally
don't
like
stop
not
them,
even
the
listening
storms will
to.
eventually tear reality apart.
I
I'm
don't know,
talking
like
about time collapsing in on
Neil
itself.
Patrick Harris,
They'll be locking down security after our
Hank
break-in.
Pym,
But I
talking
have an
to
idea.
Aviator
We're gonna
Maverick
build another time
Gwenpool.
bridge.
Did you not just hear me say tearing reality apart? Messing
actually
with
a
time is a
problem.
bad idea.
Exactly. So we are gonna fix it.
By
We're gonna go
using
get
time
Clint
travel.
out of the wrong timeline, cut Monica off from her future self. That would stop the storms, right?
That's still messing with time. That
That
might work.
might work though. It's like
need a few
hey,
things,
that's
but-
still fucking with. But you're
know what?
not.
Maybe.
Less time messing with. Minimize the time messing
Okay.
with.
First, we'll need everything you can get on Monica's time bridge plans. Blueprints, records, everything. Shield's intel points to an AIM data center in Siberia. It's our best shot.
At any rate, yeah, it's like I really enjoyed She-Hulk. I feel like it wasn't well received, which makes me sad. And I don't know how accurate it was. I think I've said this before. Just that I'm pretty sure with She-Hulk, she was just permanently She-Hulk. She stopped being her smaller self. She didn't get to go back and forth all willy-nilly like. But it is what it is, and you know, it costs money and shit. So for a show and just in general, it's like, you know, you're not necessarily gonna do that. I get that. Yo comprendo, all that
Come
shit.
here, this'll only
But-
take a sec.
And
all the help
it
I can
is
get.
what it is. Like, I personally enjoyed the fuck out of it, even if it ended. Like, I like that she broke
Maddie
the
bet you
fourth
wouldn't
wall.
help.
I like
Now
the
she owes me
little
$10.
everything. I thought it was prone to like her just because I wanted to see more diversity. And I'm not really happy how they changed her powers, but it did seem like it sort of leaned into the concept of more. Oh, look, you're making mud bubbles or something. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. It seemed like maybe there's mutants as a possibility. I don't know. It just seems like Marvel's not sure where it's going. I think that they knew that people were gonna leave and move on. They planned for that, and then things happened outside of that, and it's just hard, you know? It's hard
Hey
to
there.
like.
Welcome to the anthill. I'm
Wouldn't it be
serious,
nice
the
if
Princess
none of you
there. I've
aged
got the
and you
same
would
problems
just
as
be
my brother.
happy to
Mortal, please, at
eat
your
what?
service.
Chicken and broccoli and rice or some shit just endlessly. Just every day, that's what you
Want a
live
soda?
on.
I can totally steal one from Tim's Hidden Walk.
You know, like, that's like a lot of the, like, you work out 5 times a week for 4 hours and shit, and that's how you eat the same thing all the time, and that's your life. Like, and you're fucking 50 or something, like Hugh Jackman. Just like, dude, no, nobody wants to do that. It's like, also you have to give up every opportunity to play other parts and do other things. Because contracts, bitch. Like, I understand how that might not be fun. People might not want to do that. That sounds horrible. That sounds like some torture shit. You know? Just to help your career get a boost or whatever. Like, that doesn't sound good. But anyway, I'm gonna check out Captain Marvel, and I'll watch it and see if maybe it changes my mind before I say anything more about it. I will say this about Black Widow. I don't like how they did Taskmaster. I don't really care that they made Taskmaster a female instead of what it said that, oh, you have the same powers as Black Widow because you got the same serum, and then they gave you like a helmet that gives you predictive AI or something. It's like, dude, like, I don't know a lot about Taskmaster. What I know about Taskmaster is a villain that I'm only familiar with from Spider-Man, but isn't just a Spider-Man villain. It's just that's the only places that I know them from. And they're one of those villains that's just like, oh, you foil me and you get away. But they're comparable and they're hard to defeat in a lot of ways because of their abilities, which are basically photographic reflexes, which is basically the ability to copy anything that they say. And then use that as predictive. But that doesn't make them... I think they're also supernaturally fast, strong. It's sort of like a minor version of Black Widow, Captain America, that sort of thing. But then with this. And it's like, okay. And then they just like kind of ruined it with the concept of, oh no, it's just predictive AI in the headset. You got a mask, it does the thing for them. It's like, for fucking real? You're just gonna do that? It's somebody who's brainwashed or some shit. I don't even remember if that's even a spoiler. You're just gonna have that be the thing. It's like, for fucking real? It's like the same as like what they did with the Mandarin early on. It's like, dude, just don't use that character. It's like, but we need people to show up. Butts in seats. It's like, you didn't even let it go to theaters. Or it kind of went to theaters and to Disney Plus at the same time. I don't remember. Taskmaster looks like it's a man, but it's actually a woman, and we're hiding that the entire time. And then they also use what looks like a Captain American shield or something. It's like, don't do that. I personally, I've enjoyed a lot of the shows. As much as I'm not a fan of them requiring you to do that. I enjoyed WandaVision and Loki, Moon Knight, which doesn't seem like it ties into anything, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. I've enjoyed all those to varying degrees, and I think they've been great. If I missed anything, I'm sorry. I'm probably just not thinking of it right now. I thought that they were all pretty cool. Like, they're all their thing. I don't want to have to watch everything to get a benefit of it. You know? I want to be able to just watch and move on, but, you know, it is what it is. And
Maybe next time?
I think that they're valid and stuff. And, like, for instance, like, I even enjoyed the Eternals. I know that wasn't particularly popular. I think Eternals should have been a series, but they wanted to make it higher production quality. I think that was a mistake. I feel like Eternals was something that people didn't really want, and they were just trying. They swung and they missed. But I enjoyed it anyway. I went and saw it in the theaters, and I enjoyed it. Did I enjoy it as much as other things I saw in the theaters? No. Not at all. But did I like it? I even watched it again afterwards to show it to somebody else, and they were like, not real big into Marvel, and that wasn't that great. Like, I told you it wasn't going to be, but it was so cool. My point is basically, oh yeah, no, I even saw, what was it? I didn't really like Falcon and Winter Soldier, but I liked it more than I expected. And Hawkeye, I enjoyed so much more than I expected. Like, I was like, I'm just watching it because it's there and I have time. It was actually really good and interesting. That's my opinion, anyway. So yeah, that's my thing, I guess. I'm gonna go. I will check out Captain Marvel before I say more about it. I just feel like it's unfair what they've done to female Marvel characters, and that I liked some of the more recent female-led Marvel, female-led shows, and I would like to see more movies that do that. And I'm gonna take the time and effort to check out Captain Marvel to see if maybe I misjudged it based on what was going on at the time. I enjoyed Black Widow, I just didn't like how the villain thing played out, but I thought it was still fun. There's still some bullshit in it, like the prison escape just made 0 sense in every possible way, 100%. That happens in most movies, but that was just like extra. It was still a cool sequence. Like, I feel like there's a future me that's going to look back on this somehow, even though I very rarely go back far enough to actually that. But, and I'd just be like, you should actually watch the movie before you say stuff about it. So, I'll check it out. But I did want to say how I felt about other stuff. And WandaVision was great. I loved how it just went through different... That was really fun for me. Just different time variants, and it was very engaging. So, yeah, I think the MCU has been doing pretty well. It's kind of sloping downwards in various ways, at least on a public opinion scale. I'm pretty cool with it. I haven't seen the most recent stuff, so like Ant-Man or the Ant-Man Quantumania and etc. etc. I haven't seen the most recent Guardians of the Galaxy, which I think just came out, and yeah, I'm behind. Too poor to go see that shit. But reviews have been up and down for the most part. I don't know. I liked Ant-Man. I thought it was a fun little side thing, but it always felt like a side thing to me. And I always kind of wanted to see Luis. Like, everybody just wants to see Luis from Ant-Man just give, like, the constant recap. Like, that should be the end credit scene of like, at least every other few things where it's just like, oh, hey, so this is what happened, and this is the guy, and they did this, and it's like, oh, but, like, hey, mama, oh, we should get together, and we should do this, and then he was like, I'm gonna punch you in the face, and, like, all that shit. Like, but also, give that man, like, a suit. Because, here's the thing, Luis has a special power no one has acknowledged. He can knock out almost anybody with one hit. That's a special power. It's not like being able to fire laser beams from your eyes, or fly, or anything like that, but motherfucker can just knock out pretty much anybody. Just KO. One hit. That is like canon. Every time you see him hit somebody, he wants to knock out. Even when you don't, you hear about it, he knocks somebody out. Just look into it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, yeah, now I'm going to stop this because I need to know what I want to do and whether I'm going to play any more tonight or what. I'm just talking about MCU now, and this is dumb. I just wanted to, like, I don't know how I felt about what I said earlier about Captain Marvel, and I want to go check that out before I say anything. Like, before I really stand by what I said before. Alright. Don't neglect your jump button, and yeah, all that.